From one end of the country
to the other.
So you gotta say this is cross
And this is cross
country.
comments.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, maybe the cross country comments we shouldn't do, but I like the rest.
Let's do it one more time.
Okay. Also, I haven't stopped recording, so.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, you ready? Ready? Go.
From one end of the country
To the other. This is cross country comments. What do you want to do?
So okay. So I say one other country, you say to the next, and you pick it up with this is cross, and then I say country, and then you say comment, so that you can be like the main one talking.
Well, why am I the main one talking?
Because I like the way you introduce the folks what we're talking about.
Okay.
So
Right.
I gotta start with from one end of the country, and then you say to the next, this is cross, and then I say country.
All right, you ready? We'll do it one more time, and this is the final time. Ready? 3, 2,
Okay,
1.
here we go. From one end of the country,
To the other. This is cross
country.
comments. Okay, that was better. I almost forgot my line there for a second, if you couldn't tell.
No, but it was good though. It was good.
Hi guys, welcome. This is starting off very differently.
Yes.
We're trying to see if we want to do like an intro type thing, just because going, hey guys, is very generic. So
Yeah.
it's fine, but we're gonna have to iron that out a little bit. But hi guys, welcome to Cross Country Comments. We are back after a bit of a hiatus. We were posting kind of intermittently. We were planning on doing the Marvel like day after day after day after day for like a week. That didn't happen, number one, because there was way too much to talk about. And we had to extend it to basically 7 days. And on top of that, the editing software started glitching out. So every time it would glitch out, the whole recording would, and you'd have to like redo the editing. So that kept happening over and over and over. And so we were never able to post in that time. So bit of a hiatus while we got that figured out, but we are good and ready to go.
Sure.
We are going to be posting normal time, Sundays at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
And then 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Correct. So if you guys are listening to this over the podcast, it may be posted before that, but we're talking about the YouTube video. We might post them at the same time. It kind of just depends. We're still figuring that out. We are still a bit of a newer podcast channel anyway. Anyways, welcome guys. So we have a few things to cover. A lot happened while we were on our little hiatus. And surprisingly, what we're going to be covering today is actually mostly movie related. So a lot of trailers dropped, and there are 3 specific ones that we want to look at. We're not going to like react to them, because I mean we've already seen them. But what we are going to do is we're going to talk about what we expect from the movie, what we're thinking about, what theories we might have, stuff along those lines. And then the second topic has to do with a movie as well that's coming out, but not a ton of information has been released on. So we're going to give our speculation on that. So we will get started on the first one. Javen, if you want to take it away with our first segment here.
Cool. So we're, like Garrett said, we're going to be talking about trailers. There are 3 specific trailers that we wanted to cover. So the first one I feel like we should cover should be just so that we can, move on more, since we don't know much about this one. I think we should start with Blue Beetle.
Okay.
Probably, in my opinion, the most anticipated DC trailer well, the second most anticipated DC trailer, in my opinion. This is actually one of my favorite. Blue Beetle. He is one of my favorite heroes of all time. I mained him in Injustice 2. I got a whole bunch of gear. But the way they're representing Blue Beetle here is really different, and I'm really here for it. But I wanted to see what your takes on Blue Beetle is, just because like I noticed that you were noticing more of the core changes of just who Jaime is in general, and how like more that he's connected with his family in this one. So I wanted you to cover this one just because I knew that you kind of like were paying attention way more to this trailer than I did. So you take
Okay.
it.
I will say you had the hype factor going. So
No, yeah, the hype, like, oh my goodness, movie feels so good. But you had more of the intellectual one with this trailer, so you got to take.
So when it comes to Blue Beetle, I don't know like a massive amount. Like I haven't read a ton of his comics. But I know that there were two Blue Beetles before Jaime Reyes. There was some. I know his last name is Garrett, just because. But I can't remember his first name. But he was the first Blue Beetle, and as far as I know, he used the Scarab just like Jaime is in a certain way. And then Ted Kord took over, and he didn't trust the Blue Beetle Scarab, so he locked it away and basically became like another Batman. Used his funds, his riches to become superhero. And don't hate on me in the comments. That's not all Batman is. But so when Jaime Reyes takes over, he goes back and uses the Scarab, but his design is completely different in the best way possible because they based it on the Injustice 2 game. And so in the trailer, he actually gets the Scarab and it like does this horror movie scene, grotesque, shoot you up to the ceiling and materialize. Like it's horrifying, but also a spectacle if you're a comic nerd.
Yeah.
So in the comics, his family does not know, at least not immediately, that he's Blue Beetle. He hides it for a good long period of time, and then his family finds out eventually, as every comic book character does. But in this one, it's literally like, oh my gosh, what's happening? He has a suit on now. So they immediately know that he's Blue Beetle. And honestly, I like that take just because it has been so overdone, the secret identities, which can work if you do it right. But at the same time, we've had so many of those that it's like, okay, his family knows, they can work with them. Like, this movie is about family. And some of my favorite movies of all time are family oriented. One of my favorite Disney movies is Encanto, just because the family aspect in that is great. Incredibles, obviously a great family superhero movie. So the fact that his family knows and seems like they're going to be helping him is great. And in one of the scenes, you can actually see Ted Kord and the previous before him Blue Beetle's suits in the background. So Ted Kord is obviously going to be either in it, or Kord Industries is going to be very prevalent. I will also say I found out one thing: who one of the villains is.
Oh.
So, do you know the woman who comes in with the red hair and is like the Scarab? Yes.
Yeah, I don't know who she is, but yeah, I saw her in the trailer. Yeah.
And it's like, the Scarab chose you, but it belongs to me. You know why she says that?
Why?
That's Ted Kord's sister.
Oh.
Vanessa Kord.
Oh.
And I think she might be running Kord Industries.
Oh, okay.
I don't know for sure. This is all speculation. I know who that is because I got it pointed out to me. She is a brand new comic book character. Like, she was only brought into the comics, I think, a couple months ago.
Okay.
But so she's gonna be one of the main antagonists. But I gotta say, the suit, it is one of the best practical suits we've gotten in years.
It's amazing.
It reminds me of the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
when Robert Downey Jr. was actually in a suit for some of the scenes. Um, oh my gosh. And the fact that he brings out Cloud's sword at the very end. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Because, dude, I just thought it was a normal sword. But I looked and I was like, that's what is it called? The Buster?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, that was the specific sword. Like, it wasn't just a random one. Oh, yeah, it's so tight.
This movie gives me, like, Power Rangers / oh man, Power Rangers / like Iron Man vibes.
Yeah, one thing that I want to see that they clear up is because with the comic books for Blue Beetle, Dan Garrett, he gets a scarab, he
That's
has all
his
the
name.
powers, right?
Yeah.
But then once he dies, uh Ted Cord, he gets the scarab, but he doesn't use it, but he takes up the mantle for Blue Beetle.
Exactly.
So now I'm wondering if they're going to take the comic book route or take it, on their own. I want to see if that Ted Cord in that universe, in this Blue Beetle's universe, see if he used the scarab or not. Because I feel like that would make a whole different story with his sister being in on it. Because it could have been cool if he kept the scarab safe, just so that nobody else used it, and then she would want it, or he used it and he died using it, and she felt like since she's related to him that she needed to take it. Like I feel like I feel like him using or not using the scarab is pretty big with the whole Blue Beetle story, in my opinion. Just because it's a huge deal that he didn't use it in the comic books, at least.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be using it, and he will not have used it. I think he's going to go the route of billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, whatever. Just because we see Jaime's family in the Blue Beetle, flying in the Beetle, I guess you would call it. I don't know what it's actually called, but
so you think that they're just going to take Cord's stuff?
I think that my speculation is that Ted Cord, he's one of two things. He's either exiled in hiding, or maybe faked his own death kind of thing, or he hates what his sister is doing. I think he's going to be on Jaime's side. I don't think he's going to be an antagonist. So he's either going to have faked his own death and be in exile and then still have access to his stuff, and Jaime's going to find him, or he's going to hate what his sister's doing, take Jaime under his wing kind of thing, and be like, if you need help, I'm here to help. I'm done with Blue Beetle. It's your turn.
That's okay. I get it.
So, or he's just dead and Jaime steals everything.
All right, that's what I was thinking. But it would be cool if Ted Cord was kind of in on it, though.
Yeah, I will also say for anyone listening, I have a bit of a stuffy nose, so if you hear me sniffling or clearing my throat occasionally, that is why. But yeah, in the movie, or in the trailer at least, it's why would you need the Beetle, the vehicle, unless you couldn't fly? Hence him not using the scarab.
Yeah, or they might be doing the whole Team Flash thing.
I hope not.
Or it's Team Beetle.
Dude,
we are all Blue Beetle.
I don't think they'll go that far, but at the same time, I think his family is going to help him.
Yeah, I don't mind the help. I just don't like them taking the whole team taking the mantle of know the name the Flash. I don't like Team Flash. It's stupid.
Also, I really, really hope that Vanessa Cord is just the first part antagonist, the antagonist for the first part of the movie, and they never show us in the trailer the second part of the movie, because I want what's his name? He's the Black Beetle, the giant dude from Young Justice. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh shoot!
The
Yeah,
the alien
that would
race.
be nuts.
What are they called? I can't remember their name.
That'd be nuts.
You know who I'm talking about though.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So if he comes in and is like, "This isn't yours," so
Bruh,
dude, I
that'd be nuts.
hope. Oh, I hope that happens so much.
That'd be
Um,
nuts.
but yeah, incredible trailer, great song choice, may I add. I've never even heard that song all the way through, but like, oh, it hit. Uh,
Um, I've been addicted to that song for so long, and it's funny because up till the trailer, I forgot about it, and I was like, okay, because it's a very addicting song. I sing it all the time.
yeah.
I even danced it like way too many times.
Ah!
But then as soon as the trailer started, I just want to rock. I was like, "Are you kidding? I just let go of the song." So now I'm back on my my addictiveness to the song because it's catchy. It's short and it's catchy, and it's not even like a rap. It's all just about the beat.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's literally just a hype song. Like
Oh, I'm
it
so
barely has
sorry.
words. It's
Oh, that was
literally a
probably
song
loud.
made for dance. No, oh, you're good.
It was a song made for what?
It's a song strictly made for dancing. Like there's like barely any
Oh,
words.
yeah, just the this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. I was like, ah, dude. And the fact that that part was playing when he was being covered by the Blue Beetle,
Yeah.
like this isn't what you want.
My favorite part was the ding. Whoa! I love that. Like it went up to like the ceiling. I love that part.
Yeah. Ah, it's so good. So we were both very excited for Blue Beetle. Jabin can
And
tell
let
you.
me just say,
Go ahead.
I don't like any of the people that are calling this like a basic trailer or like saying like, yeah, it's generic. I don't think they understand what makes a really good superhero movie. And I think they kind of just throw it into the basket already, like, oh, okay, it's just another origin.
Superhero movie.
All right, and I feel like people just need to give it a chance nowadays, especially when it comes to like a character that isn't new, because he's
Yep.
not new anymore. You know what I mean? So
Well, he's
there's
newer.
hope. He's
He,
newer, but he's
he,
not new. So um there's hope for stuff that already has been covered in comics. Does that make sense? That's
it
already yeah, whose story has already been told.
it
Like there's hope
does
for that kind of stuff.
it does make sense, but I think it also will help because the guy who plays Jaime Reyes has been playing in Cobra Kai for 5 seasons, and it's been the like one of the top shows on Netflix for years. So the fact that he is playing him, I think, will boost this movie's sales by an
Yeah.
extravagant amount. And this was not supposed to be a movie at first. This
Yeah, it
was
was
supposed to
a
be,
TV show.
yep, James Gunn nixed
Yeah.
the TV show thought and was like, no, 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 we're making this into a movie. And
Yeah.
so the fact that they redid stuff enough to where they can just fit it into one movie, I am so pumped.
Same.
So
I can't wait for it.
yeah. So we have 2 more movies to cover. Which of the 2 did you want to cover next?
Right now, I want to cover the Flash.
Okay.
Just real quick. So there was a whole bunch of controversy about this movie still releasing. Obviously because of the Ezra Miller situation. Um, while I feel like I always feel like that because you're human, give everybody a second chance. I kind of have been a little iffy about when it comes to letting this movie sell and also having a possibility for him to keep his job. But there have been a lot of people, including James Gunn and Tom Cruise, who have seen cuts of the movie and almost the movie in its entirety and said that this needs to be released like right now. And hearing that gives me hope that this is actually going to be one of the best superhero movies of all time. I'm going that far just because they're hyping it up that way. And especially in the trailer, because they're doing a lot of risky stuff,
Yeah.
including bending Zack Snyder's universe and incorporating Michael Keaton Batman's universe,
Bringing in Supergirl.
and bringing in this world Supergirl and not making her the OG blonde skirt version and doing a more, a Snyder version of Supergirl, which I'm personally excited for. And also this being a Flashpoint story. And not just one Barry going through it, but two Barrys going through it, and they're both Ezra Miller. So they're doing a lot when it comes to this movie. I'm hoping that this is going to be really long movie. Like I'm hoping for 3 hours, just so that they can cover everything. My honest opinion about this releasing, I actually cannot wait. I really, really, really want to see this movie like really bad. My first ever Flash comic that I ever read was Flashpoint Paradox. The first Flash animated movie I watched was Flashpoint Paradox. In my game room, I have the Flashpoint Flash and his comic book like together stamped on my wall. So like that is my favorite storyline concept of any superhero comic line of all time. I've always been fascinated by Flashpoint. So, and I was happy with what the Flash TV show did with Flashpoint. It was a different take, but I was with it, and I like how him creating Flashpoint made like problems with making Savitar. Like I loved all that. Like that was completely different. So when it comes to Flashpoint, that's like my baby. So I don't want them to mess up Flashpoint for me. Like Flashpoint is my stuff. You know what I mean? But I am really excited. I can't wait to see I can't wait to one thing that I can't wait to see is General Zod again,
Yes.
cuz he is he is my favorite representation of Zod, like of all time. My dad's is the original 70s Zod from Christopher Reeve's Superman. He's great, but mine has always been this Zod from Man of Steel, and I can't wait to see him again and see how he is a big problem in this story because he's going to be a problem. Um, yeah, and this trailer, seeing Michael Keaton get down, but in a different way now. Like now that we have like technology, we can actually see him get down more than we ever see it seen in Batman. His Batman is gonna be really good. I think his Batman was Batman Forever. Um, yeah, I just can't wait. I'm actually really excited. I'm just very scared because again, like Flashpoint is like my baby. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I I completely understand what you mean. I mean, um, I I'm very excited when it comes to Flash. When it comes to the Ezra Miller stuff, uh
Yeah,
I
yeah. That's
so
all you really have to say.
so I read about some of the stuff that he did, and it's just like, really, like, I'm not gonna speak on it because that's a whole different topic. But well, it's not really a whole different topic, but it's just not something I want to get
It's a
into.
lot.
Yes. So what he did was not good stuff at all. And like I understand, like obviously giving people second chances, forgiving them. And if he's really trying to change and reform, then great. I mean, like people can change and reform. Justin Bieber went from doing drugs and racing cars to singing worship songs. Like people change, and that's great if he does, reform himself a little bit. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I think that he is a decent Flash, but I want them to do one of two things. Obviously, they're going to release the movie. I either want them to release it, and if it does well, keep a very close eye on him and make sure that he does not get into any of this other trouble stuff. And if he does, pull another Flashpoint and get another Flash. Like, or another thing is if this movie does well, he would sacrifice himself to the multiverse in the end, and another Flash would come out, Grant Gustin, would come out and kind of take over for him, which I think they could work that in if they wanted to. But overall, for the movie, I'm very excited just because, very unpopular opinion, but Batfleck is one of my favorite Batmans. Just
Definitely very
because,
unpopular, but that's okay.
but like the way he fought in Batman v Superman, like that felt like the most comic book fight I've ever seen when he was in the warehouse.
I,
I,
I I loved when he was getting down on them people. Like, oh my goodness.
so like his
Yeah.
version of Batman is brutal, it's
Yeah.
experienced, and it's fluid. And
Yeah.
so I love his Batman. And I know people are like, "Oh, Christian Bale." I like Christian Bale a lot, and his Batman is great. There's a few gripes I have with it, but that's another topic. But he is great. But I personally love Batfleck, and the fact that he's coming back at least for this one last movie just fills me with such hope. It's great. Something else I saw in the trailer as well is in the Flashpoint Paradox animated movie. The way they did it was Superman was locked in a lightless cage, so he was a skinny little, but then came out and was like, "Boy, I can still wreck you." They're doing that, but with Supergirl, which a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, why don't you just get Superman?" This is a different Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Like, Flashpoint is literally about changing things. So I'm okay with it. And the fact that Zod is coming back, like you said, great interpretation of Zod. The fact that I'm gonna have to see how it plays out, but Ezra Miller playing two to maybe three versions of the Flash is like, ugh. I'm skeptical but excited.
Well, the thing is with Ezra Miller's Flash, like this is putting all the crazy stuff they did to the side. In my opinion, he has played one of the best Barry Allens of all time. My opinion, like he's like this is Grant Gustin, and then this is Ezra Miller, but like he's still really high up in ranks for me.
For the
So
people
I
who
love. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, for the people who are listening, he just put Grant Gustin slightly above Ezra Miller,
Right,
just because
and
a lot of people listen instead of watch.
no, yeah, that was good. That was good. No, but seeing Ezra Miller in Justice League, in both Justice League, Zack Snyder being the best one, he was fantastic. He Ezra Miller knew exactly where to put the comedy in. He knew exactly where to put like the actual devastation in, to put the devastation with the comedy in, and knowing how to really envelop his version of Barry Allen is actually very genius. Like this is me giving him props for his acting ability for creating his own Flash and not creating like the Grant Gustin legacy Flash. To where I do believe that Ezra Miller is like when I see him play the Flash, he is the Flash. Like when he was on Peacemaker, he was the Flash. When he was slightly in Suicide Squad, he was the Flash. You know what I mean? Like I believe like Ezra Miller was the Flash. So I'm not scared about him being Barry Allen and fantastic in the Flash. I'm just scared about the other stuff he's gonna do in real life that'll affect how the continuation of the DCU will be from now on. Because I feel like with what he did and what what Warner Brothers is doing right now is kind of like for him like a lesson,
Yeah,
and I'm just hoping by the end of Flash, like let's just presume that he stays and he creates his new universe and it's got to stay that way. That he stays. I hope that he just doesn't do anything crazy in real life just because he's such a good Barry Allen. In my opinion. Like I do want to see more of his version, just because he got me hyped for it when I watched Justice League and Peacemaker and all that. So yeah, I want to see more of him, but he just needs to chill out.
yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Agreed. Agreed. I think we can universally agree on that. Also, if you're hearing this in the podcast or anything, and you hear like little background noises, sometimes my mic splits through his speaker. So I hope it's not too loud. It shouldn't be too loud. I hope. Uh, but yeah. So very excited, but skeptical for the real life version. So I think we're just gonna cover one more trailer.
Yep.
The one that I'm just gonna side cover for like 2 seconds was the Secret Invasion trailer.
Yeah.
It looks good. Nothing really new was revealed. The Super Scrolls seem like they're in it, so that's cool. If this plays a larger part in Marvel, great. If they do it right, I don't have much to say about it because they didn't reveal much about it.
It's not only that, it's kind of scary when you're not really as excited for a Marvel project anymore.
Yeah,
And I'm kind of at that point, and I never thought I'd be at that point
that
to
you're more
where
excited for
I'm
DC than
not.
Marvel.
That's what I'm saying. Like even when I was younger, I was always more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan.
Yeah,
But when the movie started coming out, it started shifting just because there were different storylines that I like. Like I told you, I did not like Captain America in the comic books, but I love Captain America in the MCU. So like they started changing my mind about it, and then that's why I got more into it. But now I'm at this point to where it's like, oh well, now it kind of feels like whatever, just because of what has come out and the amount that's coming out. Like I even feel like, not even feel like, everybody knows that you can have too much of a good thing, and they've been doing way too much just because they thought that they were, you know, doing such a winning thing when it came to putting out so many stuff in 1 year. 1 year, like that's ridiculous. Um, yeah, and see, and I would rather have quality over quantity, because if you have a really good story, you're not going to care how long it's, well, you're going to care, but you're not going to care about how long it's going to take to be put out once unless it's not good. And that's one thing that I've been kind of struggling when it comes to the MCU now, is that I wasn't like as crazily hyped for Secret Invasion as I feel like I should have been, just because one thing that I loved in the comic books was the Super Scrolls taking over the Fantastic Four's powers. That was like the craziest thing to me that I ever saw as a kid. So the fact that we have that opportunity now, I should be like, oh my god, but I'm not. Oh my god, right now. You know what I mean? I'm more oh my god about the Flash, and Ezra Miller did his crap. Like
yeah.
that's pretty weird. So I don't know. I hope it's good. Obviously, we're gonna watch it, but I'm kind of whatever about it, I guess.
I think it's at the point now because don't get me wrong. When we heard that Secret Invasion was possible like 2 years ago, when they were like, oh, they might, or no, this was before Captain Marvel because they were like, oh, they're gonna bring scrolls into it. Me and Javen were losing our minds. Um, but then we saw how they did scrolls in Captain Marvel, and we were like, huh, okay. Um, and now it seems like they're going to be doing scrolls the right way, but they are not implemented well right now, and they are not implemented enough for us to be like hyped about it.
It's so contradicting, I feel like, with the scroll story. Like obviously they're gonna have an explanation why these scrolls aren't good, but I kind of, okay, this is gonna sound so crazy, okay?
Okay.
This is gonna sound so crazy, okay? But this is just how I was raised with the scrolls, okay? I want to be racist towards the scrolls, like, you know what I mean? I want to be prejudiced towards them, like that's how they were portrayed to me, like a scary race that just wants to take over and steal the world and work for a whole bunch of people like Thanos and Kang at some point. This is how I see them. Like I see them as one of the bad guys. And when they showed us Captain Marvel, I was trying to put them in that light because that's how they put them at first. Like, yes, the scrolls are bad. I'm scared. What are they gonna do? And as soon as I saw that they were an endangered species, I was like, dang
Yep.
it. Now I have to care about them. Like, no, like this is you guys had a winning situation. I felt like they had a winning situation with Scrolls being bad. Like there's a lot of story to cover. Like I feel like that was a good way to bring in the Fantastic Four, maybe. But and then now they're trying to make the Scrolls bad. Now it just feels contradicting, just because I don't want it to be personified as the way there's some bad humans and there's some good humans type of thing. I don't want that for the Scrolls. You know what I mean? There's supposed to be one race that does something just, bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might be part of the problem with the MCU is that they're personifying everything. They're trying to make uh everybody seem humanoid.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're trying to
and-
put empathy for everyone.
yeah, they're trying to put empathy and complex emotion to other or other aliens, stuff like that, to where it kind of loses its flavor of
This is a bad guy.
yeah, but the it's a bad guy brings an energy towards what does he want, who's in his way, and who's gonna stop him.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And now with the scrolls, it's like, okay, well, they're on their own trying to find the planet, but then where are these scrolls messing up, and are they a part of them? And it just brings up so many unnecessary questions when these super scrolls are probably gonna try to take over Earth or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's already contradicting, and I hope that they have a very good explanation for it, and I really hope that they just pull me back in. But yeah, I'm just mad that I can't be racist towards the scrolls anymore.
Also, for anyone listening and who has never seen us, I'm white, Javen is black. There's no racism that happens here.
Yeah, no. Like,
but toward the scrolls, that's okay.
Right. If there's any racism, it's literally towards fictional outer space aliens.
Yes.
So literally, I'm just saying that I want to look down on scrolls because they were trying to take us over in the comic books, but
Yep.
not anymore. So
Agreed. Okay, so last trailer we're gonna cover for this segment is, and this segment is going to take over most of the episode just because our last segment we don't have a ton of like news on, but we're still super excited.
Yeah.
And we'll touch on once more news surfaces. But I gotta sneeze. Oh, pardon me. I hope that doesn't blow out my mic in the video. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So the last one we're going to cover is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Yep. Jabin, if you want to start on your thoughts on this, I need to recover from that sneeze for a second. Go ahead.
You're good. So the Spider-Verse continuation is in such a winning situation. And one thing that you said about earlier about the secret identity thing, we're talking about Blue Beetle. I feel like I was about to say this, but I felt like I wanted to save it till now. I feel like the only character that I care about when it comes to secret identity stuff is probably Spider-Man. And this iteration of Spider-Man and how Miles is trying to deal with his life being Spider-Man and Miles, it's so good to where like I would never have thought about the kid being totally disrespectful to his parents just because he's Spider-Man. Like that's never like because Peter wouldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Andrew Garfield would, but not to the point to where Miles is going.
Yeah.
To where like if Andrew Garfield was late to get the eggs, whatever, he'd be like, oh, man, fine, whatever. But he would actually go and do it rather than Miles like does it way too late and he's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like with it, like that's not a Peter thing. So I like that we're getting a different Spider-Man that has a different take on being Spider-Man and Miles at the same time. And just the different like funny stuff. And he's Puerto Rican, so the fact that he has a B in Spanish is totally funny.
I laughed so hard.
It's so good. Like but it shows that I don't know. It has that same feeling that I get from the first movie. You know, like this is I don't know. This is our Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I'm excited just because I know it's not gonna be bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's such a big situation, and what's so good about their iteration of Spider-Man is that there's no way, in my mind at least, there's no way to do this horribly when you have such a wide variety of story that you can tell because not a lot of people know about Miles. So this is their time to actually put, you know, like Miles is already on the map now, but now to actually like make the little, you know, details about his life and learn way more about him now, like we do Peter, because we know Peter's all around. Even in the movie, like in the trailer, it even was making fun of how every single Spider-Man's Uncle Ben died. Like that's why they're Spider-Man. So I thought it was so freaking funny and so meta at the same time that we're seeing Miles go through something, a different Spider-Man going through something that we've never seen before. And yeah, it's just a winning situation. I'm here for it. Um, One thing that I'm hoping for, which is probably not going to happen, we obviously know that PS4 Spider-Man is in it. I'm hoping that the original voice actor might do like a little like sentence or whatever, just so that we could go oh. But then other than that, I'll be set for life.
Yep.
Because he's in my top like 3 favorite Spider-Man.
Oh, same.
That's all I gotta say. I'm excited for it. It's great. The soundtrack is gonna be good because the producer Metro Boomin is gonna be doing the track, and he has some slap. So I can't wait to hear the soundtrack. Yeah, I'm in for it. Give your thoughts, dude. I'm in.
So I am super excited because I had never read up on Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. But in the PS4 Spider-Man game, they had those suits. And so I was like, So I didn't do a ton of research, but I did a little bit into that Spider-Man. And he's great. He's way more brutal than Peter.
No, he's really bad. Like, he
Yeah.
does not care about anything. It's crazy.
Yeah. But what I love, the dynamic that I love in the trailer, I love it so much, is that Miguel O'Hara and Oscar Isaac, amazing actor, voice actor, all of the above. But it's the fact that he's acting like, oh my gosh, it's the fact that he's acting like Miles is not supposed to exist.
So good, isn't it?
Dude, it's because here's the thing. Peter Parker of, I forget what Earth they're on, but Peter Parker of that Earth was supposed to die. And he did. But that was supposed to be, okay, so that Spider-Man is gone. I think the spider was created by Kingpin and all them, wasn't he? Or no, the spider came through the portal that Kingpin created. You never realized that, did you?
That's why the spider was like
glitching. Because it is the first thing that came through the portal, not the spider people. And you saw a test number on its back, which means people were trying to create those spiders. I think Jabin just had a reality crash for anyone listening.
God. Oh my god. Oh my god. This. Oh my god.
This fool's losing his mind.
Oh my god. No, dude. This. Oh my god. This makes it even better. Because it's like a. Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. Whoa. Whoa! Oh! Oh my god!
So, well, you're contemplating that. I'll continue. So, yeah. So the spider's the first thing that came through the portal. So he's not technically supposed to exist because that spider did not exist on his Earth, technically. So the fact that Miguel O'Hara is basically like, he doesn't say this in the trailer, but he's basically like, you're a mistake. You're not supposed to be a spider person. And Miles and, Gwen are still doing their thing. That's cool. I like them together. I hope they continue on their romance story because they're really good together. Also, the voice for Spider-Gwen is magnifique. Haley Steinfeld, my crush. If you saw the Marvel parts that we put out, you'll know that. But they're great. But the fact that it seems like Miles does something or isn't able to save someone, and basically tells Miguel O'Hara, send me back to my Earth. Miguel O'Hara's like, I can't. No, like, you're not supposed to be here in the first place. I can't just send you back. At least that's what the trailer made it seem like. And then on top of that, it seems like Miguel O'Hara has a power trip. Like, I don't know if he technically leads all the spider people, but that's how he acts. Is that he is the leader of all the spider people. And when Miles disobeys an order, he literally sends the entire Spider Legion after him. And, like, the Spider Army unite, I suppose, because, I mean, you see that scene at the very end where Miles crashes through the wall and then, like, 50 other Spider-Men crash through the wall.
Yeah.
It's like a... And this does not have to do with race, because obviously Miguel O'Hara is he Puerto Rican as well?
No, he's Mexican.
Mexican. Okay. But the fact that it's like one of these things is not like the others, because Spider-Man is supposed to be Spider-Man. Miles was never supposed to be Spider-Man. So I am super excited for this movie. And if they give me another scene that makes me feel the way that What's Up Danger made me feel, I kid you not, I blasted that song on my runs that I took and still occasionally take. But that's one of the songs that I blast whenever I go. And that's my sprinting section. Because oh my gosh, it was such a good moment in the movie. I got chills down my spine watching that. So if they give me that, I'm happy. So yeah, we're both very excited about it. Can't wait to see what else is shown. Oh, and the fact that they reference Doctor Strange and Earth 1999999 Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's right.
Which confirms that they exist in the universes, but they might actually show up.
Dude, think about Miguel just watching what Tom Holland's Spider-Man did, dude.
Dude, he was probably sitting there like, ay Dios mío.
Wait, that's probably... Whoa.
What?
That's whoa. Okay. Theory.
What are you doing?
Okay, I'm sorry. My mind is still blown about the spiders. Theory. What if Miguel almost went to that universe so that he could stop all the villains from coming? Like, he realized that the other Spider-Man's villains, like in where they're at, started like disappearing and trying to like go to that universe instead, or like saw like portals and stuff. Bruh, what if he almost like did something? That's true.
Also, side note, he says Doctor Strange and that nerd from 19999 because he doesn't know his secret identity, because the spell that Doctor Strange cast literally made everyone forget that specific Spider-Man was Peter Parker. Yeah. So he doesn't know that's Peter Parker. He just knows it's Spider-Man. Anyway, moving on. So we're both super excited for that. So segment 2, like I said, it's going to be very short, just because not a ton of news about this, but super excited for it regardless. And here's the thing, I was not a huge fan of these games, like playing them, but watching people play them and watching theories about them, shout out game theory, are my favorite. because Matt Pat, my guy. So we're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, the movie coming out. Jabin does not know some things that I'm about to say, so we're gonna see his reactions.
Anything. I don't know anything about the movie.
So do you know who William Afton is?
Of course, I know who William Afton is.
Purple Man, right?
Yep, purple guy.
You know who they got to play him?
Who?
The guy that plays Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies.
He has the look.
Yeah, and he's growing out that scraggly beard.
Oh, perfect. I'm in.
So he is William Afton. Michael Afton, the one who goes around as the security guard and everything. You know who he's being played by?
Who?
Josh Hutcherson.
Really?
Bridge to Terabithia, Red Dawn, Josh Hutcherson.
Okay, I can. You know what? I can see that. I need to see them like side by side to like see if they actually like look the same.
Yeah.
But Loki, I could see Josh Hutcherson as a security guard. He has that like filler face.
Yep.
So like yeah. Okay.
So there's actually set photos that were released of Josh Hutcherson, or they were leaked technically, but set photos of him in a mall in a security guard uniform, like beating someone to the ground in a pond in one of those fountains. He has someone in the fountain beating them to the ground.
That's tight. Okay, that makes me excited.
Also, do you know who 8-Bit Ryan is? YouTuber.
8-Bit. Let me search him up real quick because I might have seen him in like in a video, but don't know who he is. Hold on. 8-Bit Ryan. Hold on a second.
Okay, you're good. But
I just want to see what he looks like. Hold on.
Yeah. The reason I mention him, because there's 4 YouTubers that went, but the reason I mention him is because he's the first one I watched out of any of these 4 YouTubers.
Okay, yeah, I've seen one video of his, yeah.
So 8-Bit Ryan, great YouTuber by the way. Dawko, and then there were 2 others who I haven't really seen too much. But all 4 of them were invited out to the set to meet the cast and to meet Scott Cawthon, and they said that they're giving their honest opinion. They said that it looks like it is going to be a phenomenal movie. They saw the animatronics and they saw like scenes being shot. They said it looks like it's going to be insane.
Did Markiplier go? Because he's my favorite.
Well, no, but there's a rumor that he's going to cameo in the movie.
Okay, because he has a really good relationship with Scott, so that's why I was asking. Just because he's my favorite of all time. Like I grew up watching his Five Nights at Freddy's videos.
So did I, and plus he's the king of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
Anyway, I can't do that right now because of my sniffles, but I can normally do that pretty well.
No, that was literally perfect.
Oh, thanks. I love Markiplier. He's great. But anyway, so another thing is the actors already revealed. I don't know if they were supposed to, but the guy playing William Afton revealed that they signed on for a 3-movie contract. Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, super excited about it. Haven't seen any of the animatronics or the trailer or nothing like that is out yet. But if they can streamline the story of Five Nights at Freddy's, plus Scott Cawthon is directly involved, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's.
He's a genius. So yeah, he's got to.
So if they can streamline the story of Five Nights at Freddy's, because it is so convoluted that Matt Pat literally had to take, I think he has like 50 some videos up directly on Five Nights at Freddy's. And again, if you guys don't know who that, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you guys don't know who that is, go look up Game Theory on YouTube. Fantastic channel. But it's so convoluted. It's a great story, but it is all over the place.
But so coming from someone who's played all of them, it's even worse when you play the games, dude. Like because you have because when you're playing the game, you have a certain idea where the story takes you, and then you try to think about the other games, and sometimes it feels contradicting. So that's why it's so convoluted, just because all of the timelines are all over the place, and it's not at the same points when you played the game. Like, for example, technically the first Five Nights at Freddy's is like the third, like, or fourth installment of that franchise, and
Yes.
then like Sister Location was like one of the first ones. I was like, wait, what? That like
Yeah.
what? And playing coming from a gamer who's played 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then Sister Location, it's like, okay, Five Nights at Freddy was the thing, and then Five Nights at Freddy's 2 said that they were before Five Nights at Freddy 1. I was like, whoa, wait, what's going on? So it's a lot jumping around, and then the books, that gets even
Oh,
more complicated.
jeez.
It's because some are canon and some are not, and MatPat had to figure out which ones were which. So yeah, this is one of the most complicated stories of all time, but again, one of the best for some reason. Because my personal favorite playing Five Nights at Freddy's game playing is Sister Location. That is probably the best Five Nights at Freddy's game of all time, in my opinion. I didn't like get scared as as much with the other games that I did with that one. Like that one was like extremely terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't wait either. But I'm just hoping that they're gonna go timeline wise rather than franchise wise, like he did with the games.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they will because William and Michael are already going to be in it. So, like,
Right.
I mean, William's a given, but the fact that we know who Michael is and the fact that he's already becoming a security guard means that if you go watch, the theory, he's going around trying to find William because he's, it's a whole story, but it seems like that's the route they're going, and I'm really happy about that because it should give some good context as to exactly what is going on.
Yeah, most definitely. And I want to see the explanations for like the bite of 83 and 87, especially the bite of 87. I think it was 83 where the kid gets his head
The crying child.
crushed from the Golden Freddy animatronic.
Yep.
Because I want to see if they like delve into more of the bites and how how crazy that was for the kid.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that just because seeing that in Five Nights at Freddy's 4 was like very like traumatizing.
Yeah.
And again, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is probably my second favorite.
Because it was so different.
It was very different, and what was crazy about it is that it was all in this kid's head.
Yep.
That's what was scary, is that these animatronics, these iterations of these animatronics weren't even real, and his own imagination and was psyching himself out.
Yeah.
And you had to find a way to get through that. Like it was so different. I love that. Yeah, I can't wait. I hope it explains stuff easier. I'm hoping that he does it in like in its own universe, so it's not like a part of the games. I hope it's in his own universe to where he can like kind of explain it to where it'll make the video game and the book universe make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I hope it's its own thing, just so that it's more opportunity to do whatever he wants. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And if you guys have not seen any Five Nights at Freddy's games, if you don't like horror games, then don't watch them. But if you want to be entertained, go watch Markiplier, go watch Game Theory, go watch 8-Bit Ryan, Corey Kenshin, whoever you want to watch. Those that I mentioned at least, and Jacksepticeye, also all have great Five Nights at Freddy series. But we're super excited for the movie. The games are great. So yeah, I think that's about it. So we're super excited to be back and recording. Like I said, we're going to be doing one a week on Sundays, 12 o'clock PST, 3 o'clock EST. And we are going to try and increase what we do in the sense of, like, oh wow, that feedback's really bad. I can't. Sorry, it just blasted my ears for a second. But in terms of like doing collabs maybe, or hearing from you guys, we'd love to hear questions that you guys have or topics that you want us to cover. And we have a YouTube channel for that if you guys want to comment or our email. Maybe we'll put it in the description. I don't know. But we'd love to hear from you guys. We're also, like I said, working on maybe some collabs soon. We'll have to see of other people's opinions and what they think. So, I think that's all I have to say. Any final comments, Jabin?
Yeah, just letting everybody know, since we are going to be more scheduled when we do the podcast, we're going to invite different people to the podcast as our guests. So we were thinking about, having people give their thoughts on the certain topic that we're going to have for that week. It can be someone who, reviews comics, or like different comedians, or maybe someone in our family can come and just jump in and see what they think, So we're thinking about, making this just a little more, having someone else jump into our conversation too, just so that we can have, something a little different and a different take for other people that are watching that aren't like crazy nerds or whatever like that. Maybe we can invite someone else who doesn't have that, that point of view that we both do, and getting their take on stuff. So yeah, we're just experimenting and having fun about it, but we appreciate everyone who's watching, listening, downloading, all that good stuff. Thank you for the support. We appreciate it a lot. That's partially what keeps us going with this, because I feel like we wouldn't have a lot of motivation if there wasn't anyone really going to be invested in it, especially putting our money down. So it's a big deal for us. So thank you for everyone who's watching, listening, downloading, all that good stuff. Yeah, just let us know what you want. We'll do it, maybe. So yeah.
Yeah, and let us know what you thought of the intro, because it was a hot mess.
Yeah, we tried, but say it's straight trash or it's okay, let us know.
Yeah, we're either gonna refine it or just go back to hey guys.
Right.
But yeah, so that's it for this time. So gosh, my brain just went blank. My train of thought just went off the rails. All right.
No, you're good.
All right, so that's it for this time. So thank you everyone so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.
Peace.